Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin. Today is Friday, the 16th of October. Wow, we are rolling along into this 10th month of 2020. And a little quick thank you to all of you who sent personal, lovely, loving, kind, and caring messages yesterday. I shared my vulnerability about losing Trooper and why I was not doing a meditation Wednesday morning. And I'm so grateful and humbled by the amount of love and support and messages I got. And yes, so thank you very much. It truly does mean a lot. I learned from this experience that even though life continues after someone we love and someone we care about, what I believe goes to spirit. Life continues, and sometimes that can be a bit of a slap for those who are in grief. But I also know and believe, and I'm sharing it for a reason. Many cultures don't encourage weeping or crying. But we have that feeling of sadness, and we have that feeling of inner hurt that does bring tears. My own personal thought and belief about it is it's personal how you choose to share your grief. And I think that grieving is a very personal experience for me. I don't know what it is like for other people. I think some folks grieve very deeply, very publicly. That's the way they show their grief. What I've known from guides, angels, spirit, that grief and tears are a reflection of the depth of love and the depth of compassion that appears to be lost, or appears to have gone, or appears to have vanished. It is the depth of love and compassion and attachment to the person who has left and has gone to spirit. It's almost an emotional celebration. More often than not, the grieving comes at the end of a period of somewhat suffering, in my case with Trooper and the 2-3 animals that went before him, and there's been 4 this year. I questioned, gracious, how can this be how can I do this? I kept going and kept moving forward because that's what has to happen. Growth is a lift and a move forward. And I never know what messages are going to come, or how they're going to come, or how they're going to show up, or who I'm going to be. I never know. I like that about being spontaneous. I like that about being right in the moment and not being quite sure what I'm getting. It also teaches me to be present. That's how I've been able to process it. I got asked this yesterday: how do you process all this? The physical way I process it, which is not necessarily the right way, and it speaks to the card that popped up this morning, no coincidence, is I go buy stuff. I go shop. I don't know that that's necessarily the right thing to do. It's definitely a coping mechanism for sure. I went looking at trucks yesterday. I took myself off on a 2-3 hour ride around the mountains, Morganton, Hickory, and then back to Charlotte. To some that might seem insane. Well, perhaps it is. What is sanity? And did I feel better? I felt a shift. Better, worse? I don't know what that means. Sadness has lifted. The period of whatever grieving mourning I had, that has sort of passed, and I'm grateful. Not that I'm grateful I don't have that lovely boy, to love and hug, and he was so incredibly special. But I also believe that, you know, this life is incredibly fragile, very fragile. We are, I think, souls anchored into the earth through this physical body with a spirit, which is like the the essence of bubbles, and that kind of yeah, that joie de vivre, that's our spirit, the spirit that lights us up, the spirit where we dance and carry on like nobody's watching us. That's what I call the spirit anchored into the body by a soul. So today's message comes from the Dragon's Duel. Here it goes. It isn't the first time I have drawn this card. And what I've known about the wisdom from the hidden realms, and when I just shuffle, I'd usually just give thanks that I'm able to shuffle, and give thanks that I get a message. And then what's the message for today for me and everybody? The Dragon's Duel talks about how we're all in unity together, equal. Human beings, everybody that lives on the planet is all in equality, unity. Come here for the common cause. But there is also the inner conflict of choice, good and bad, right and wrong, up and down, this choice, that choice. So we have these conflicts that go on, which is the Dragon's Duel. Oftentimes, we get to the point where there's a choice that needs to be made, and the choice should always involve the highest good of yourself and all concerned, everybody. So we're all faced with choices all the time. And if you feel stuck with a choice, whether it's a job, a marriage, a home, whatever that choice is, material, emotional, physical, spiritual, the conflict, if there is any, and there typically is, we come up on conflict when we need to grow. When it's time to grow, the conflict shows itself. Conflicts will show themselves when you are either morally indecisive and need to make a choice, or you've made choices that morally weren't the greatest. So the conflict pops up as a little reminder of, well, what do I do? And we can sit in that battle of conflict. The Dragon's Duel and the message behind it. How does each choice greatly affect everyone involved? And take the choice that benefits all. If the choice benefits yourself, benefits the other people, and you can find that it benefits a lot of people in unity, that's the moral choice. That's the choice you make. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, you know in your heart of hearts that's the moral choice. You've got to make it, you've got to take it, but it doesn't, well, that's not the choice that you really want. The choice that you really need. The choice that works for you. Then you look at what's the difference between the ego and the higher self, if you will, spiritual self. I don't quite know what the opposite to ego is, but there's some things that are ego driven and some things that are driven with love and compassion and spirit and kumbaya and all that. Know that when there is that conflict that doesn't feel quite good, but you're going to do it anyway, the thing that you know, if I make that choice, these people are going to be whatever they are. You know that it's going to be detrimental to another person. That it's working egoically. The ego serves the self. The ego serves the self. It's all self-serving. The spirit, the soul, serves humanity. The soul is really what wins out in the end. Love wins out in the end. It can feel like we live in a world that is so dark, so abysmal, so dismal. If that's what we're putting out, that's the world that we're going to find ourselves in. So resolve your conflicts, use the Dragon's Duel, choose the pathway that fits for everyone, and more abundance and more of that will come back to you. All right, let's meditate. Feet flat on the floor, big breath in. Release it out. Bring your palms so they face your heart and upward, and get comfortable. And this morning, we're going to first get clear with what's going on in the body, and particularly with this duality and these choices and the duel. The area to focus on is going to be the power chakra, the belly, around the abdomen, and the heart chakra, which is number 3 and number 4. And it doesn't matter if you're into chakra clearing or balancing. Just bring the awareness to the belly, the intestines, and the heart. The third and last area to be considered is the crown chakra, which is at the top of the head and has to do with the connection between us as beings, humans, and the energy that controls the whole universe. And start by taking your mind and your inner knowledge to the area of your stomach. Start to see a warm, healing glow. Cause whatever color, whatever feeling to expand, and have the experience of whatever that generates for you inside your belly. As you breathe in, increase the light and that feeling of healing, soft, loving, kind, compassionate energy within your belly. Allow the tension of the cells that are gripping tight to conflict, the gut feelings, allow them to relax and release. Relax and release all constrictions. Relax and release all conflicts. Move your attention up into your rib cage, where your heart muscle is and your lungs are. And the diaphragm that lifts and lowers, allowing your lungs to expand and contract. Begin with a warm glow of healing light to start right at the area of your sternum, that bone in the middle of your chest, that bone that kind of like the rosette of your rib cage. the center of your chest plate. And think of every one of the bones and connective tissue of your rib cage being connected by this warm, healing light. Allow the light to swirl and engulf the area of your heart muscle. Just be in the experience of letting your heart muscle tingle. Energize your lungs. Allow all of the cells of your lungs, those pockets. Thinking of your lung tissue as being open sponges. Every time you inhale, you open the holes of the sponges of your lungs to fill up with beautiful, warm, healing energy. As you exhale, squeeze out the toxic air that has been trapped. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. Know that with every huge breath in, you unstick and undo the trapped cells and pockets of your lungs. And when you exhale, you release and let go of the toxic air that was trapped, that couldn't get out, that couldn't release. And continue breathing in deeply, filling up, expanding your chest, letting your upper back expand. Imagine the air that you're pulling in has to and will fuel the entire human body that you inhabit. Imagine that your lungs and your heart have been miraculously placed where they are on purpose. The air that you breathe in travels to the cells of your heart and the blood that runs through your body, and every piece of oxygenated blood is life force and fuel for you. Continue breathing deeply, releasing on the exhale, refreshing on the inhale. Bring to mind your third eye center finally. Any conflicts you have, any worry you have, any mind mess you might be focusing on, frame it, Place it into a frame that you can see, feel, bring into focus. Put your drishti on. When you're clear about the conflict, you're clear about what is holding you up, getting your way, keeping you stuck, keeping you distracted from living. The question to ask is this choice, conflict, situation going to benefit, or is this for my highest good? Who does this benefit and why? If the answer is not immediately clear, then the second question, the morality question, the subconscious question is, what is the point? What does this situation resolve? Or how does this situation move us, me, the world forward? Continue breathing and focusing and just marinating in the experience of questioning internally and listening to the answer. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Acknowledge yourself for focusing on something you want to live, grow from, move from, lift from. Lift your thumbs to your third eye center, and together we bow and say Namaste. Whew. Thank you for that. I appreciate you for showing up, being here with me this morning. What is today? Friday. Wow. End of another work week, if you are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Anyway, if that's the case, listen, I wish you a great end to the work week, and I hope to see you here again tomorrow morning at 5:30. I also have a 30-minute free Zoom meditation that a few folks get together. It's like a little community meditation. We chit chat and focus on something and then move with the meditation. All right, have a great Friday, and I'll see you in the morning. Thanks, bye.